right, you guys, and welcome back to another new video slash episode. And today we are checking out the tornadoes of 2016, where I watched a EF4 demolish a man's home and ripped his walls off while he was in his bathroom. Today, we are going to finally see if the EF5s have been reborn. We only got to see one EF5, and that was the EF5 that touched down in Moore, Oklahoma in 2013. Also, along with the 2013 EF3 and the 2011 EF5 that touched down in Joplin, Missouri. Let's get into it. This page documents the not able tornadoes and tornado outbreaks worldwide in 2016. Strong and a destructive tornadoes form most frequently in the United States, Bangladesh, Brazil, and eastern India, but they can occur almost anywhere under the right conditions. Tornadoes also develop unceasingly in southern Canada during the northern hemisphere's summer, and somewhat regular at other times of the year across Europe, Asia, and Australia. Tornadic events are often accompanied with other forms of severe weather, including strong thunderstorms, strong winds, and hail. There are 1,059 tornadoes reported in the United States in 2016, of which 974 were
in there for a bit long. It's straight up midnight.
So which 974 were confirmed worldwide. 133 fatalities were reported, 100 in China, 18 in the United States, and 5 in Uruguay, 4 in Brazil, and 2 in Italy, Russia, and Odisha each. 2016 was a slightly below average in terms of tornadic activity, but near record tornado numbers occurred in February. This was the first year that tornadoes began and rated EFU EF unknown. So, for this episode, we are looking at 530 EF0s, 311 EF1s, 75 EF2s, 26 EF3s, and 2 EF4s. So, let's see. I can see that there were a lot of outbreaks. A lot. So I'm looking at this first because on August 24th, it was a United States and Canada outbreak. I'm trying to see. Alright, well, let's go see some. So first we got January 17th, Florida. So here is the list of United States tornadoes from January to March. We are here to see the January 17th events. There was a EF2, a EF2, a EF1, northwest of Hobie Sound. Okay. Next is February 23rd, Louisiana. So here is the Paincourtville Convict, Louisiana EF3. This tornado lasted 21 minutes, 2 fatalities, and 75 injuries. Then there's the Pensacola, Florida EF3 that lasted 11 minutes, which was 155 miles per hour, 3 injuries, and no fatalities. There's also another EF3, which is the Champ Evergreen, Hollywood, Virginia EF3, 1 fatality and 7 injuries. Then there's the Dunbrook, Hancock, Naylors Beach, Virginia, White Point, Maryland EF3 that lasted 40 minutes with 145 miles per hour, and it had 0 fatalities and 25 injuries. February 23rd, Mississippi. So here is the tornado outbreak of February 23rd through February 24th, 2016. Here is a EF0, north of southeast of Bowling Lagau. Here is a EF0 south of Kenner. Here is another EF0 southwest of White Castle. Here is a EF0 in Prairieville, and a EF2 western of Livingston, and a EF0 northeast of Millipore, and a EF1 southeast of Bradwin. And there's another EF0 southwest of White Castle, a EF3 southwest of Paincourtville to northeast of Convent, Louisiana. And there's a EF1 west southwest of Bahagatia. And here's another EF1, a EF0 west southwest of Baxterville, EF2 east northeast of Baxterville to northwest of Parvis. And there is a EF0 east northeast of Reform. And there is also a EF2 LaPlace, and EF0 in Madisonville, Louisiana, EF0 Benton, Mississippi, a EF0 northwest of New Hebron, and a EF0 in Lackaby. There's also a EF3 in northwest of Pensacola International Airport to southeast of Peridge. And there's also a EF1 northwest of Bakley.
Why do you keep leaving out the room?
And there's a EF1 northwest of Harbor Heights. And there's a EF3 southwest of Chark to Holiday to Lake State Park. and there's an EF2 northeast of Oxford, and there's an EF3 north of Billington, Virginia to southeast of Birmingham, Maryland. And there's an EF2 northwest of Gap to northeast White Horse. Let's see about February 23rd, Virginia. I think this was the Virginia outbreak. This is... Wait, I think we saw that already. April 27, Texas. So you can basically say this is the April events. List of the United States tornadoes from April to May 2016. There's an EF0, EF0, EF1. There's an EF0, a EF1, a EF1, a EF1 southeast of Millwood. There's an EF2 north of Midway. Then there's a EF0 west of Clayton to north of Louisville. And there's a EF2 north of Belleville to northwest Morgan. There's a EF0, another EF0, another EF0. There's also more EF0s and EF1s. More and more EF0s, just more and more EF0s. Basically, it was tornadoes forming to be tornadoes. A lot of EF0s, and one touchdown southwest of Mayfield. Also, one north of Kensington, which is in Smith County of Kansas. There's also EF1 northwest of Jones to northwest of Luther. And there's more EF0s and EF1s and stuff. There's also an EF1 northeast of Wandiet. And there's also EF1, and there's also more EF0s. Here's an EF0 southwest of Altamont, and more EF0s. And there's an EF2 southern Lindale, and an EF2 southeast Lindale to northwest Kesley, and another EF2 from east of Wimping to Mary to north of Alatu. And there's also EF1s, and here's an EF2 to southwest of Call, Texas. And here is May events. We got an EF2 west of Wiggins to northwest Orchard, and another EF2 north to southeast, and here's another EF2 north of Catherine to South Codell, and a EF4 south of Katy to southwest Wynnewood, and there's an EF3 northwest of Davis to southwest of Roof. And another EF3 south of Cornerville to Brandy, a EF2 west of Nowaka, and a EF2 southeast of Perry to southwest of Morrison, and an EF3 southwest of Bennington to southwest of Swooper. And there's also another EF3 southeast of Fancy Farm to southwest of Benton. And there's a EF2 northwest of Hartford to southeast of Dunne. And there's also a EF2 southeast of Burnborn to southeast of Sullivan. And there was a EF3 southwest of Connaught to northwest of Elbow, and a EF2 south of Lakeview to west of Elsline. There's also an EF2 northwest of Sparks, and another EF2 north of Garden City, and an EF3 north of Garden City, and an EF2 northwest of Garden City. And another EF3 east southeast of Turkey, and an EF3 northwest of Milaola to northeast of Easine. And there's also northeast of Rowana to southwest of Nez City. And there's also an EF2 southwest of Dodge City to southeast of Kelvesta. And an EF3 north of Dodge City. EF3 northwest of Jetmore to southeast of Biller. And there's also an EF2 west of Centerview, a EF3 north of Centerview to West Belper, and there's also an EF4 northeast of Nails to southeast of Chapman. There's also an EF2 west northwest of Career to southwest Hillsdale. And there's also an EF2 southeast of Navasta, and a lot of EF0s, and an EF2 west of Knoxville, not Knoxville, Tennessee, but not Knoxville, Tennessee. So I guess that was the April outbreak. And here is the May 9th, Oklahoma. Here is the 2016 Katy, Oklahoma tornado, where there were, it started at 3:06 and ended at 3:27 p.m. EF4 170 miles per hour. As this Katy EF4 was rolling, it ripped a man's wall off of his house. Trees were debarked. Only thing that was standing was the walls to his bathroom. He walked away without a scratch. And there was one fatality and no injuries. Damage was $1,000. And areas affected was Katy, Oklahoma, and areas of southwest of Wynnewood, Oklahoma. And also, here is the November 30th Tennessee event. Here is the tornado outbreak of November 27th through November 30th. You got an EF0, EF1, EF0, EF0, multiple of those. You got an EF1, an EF1. You got an EF2 northwest of Bell Green to northwest of Littleville. You got an EF1, an EF0. You got an EF2 northwest of Double Spring. And you got an EF3 north of Danville to northeast of Neal, Alabama. And you got a EF2 south-southeast of Arley to south-southwest of Jones, Chappell. And you got an EF2 eastern Huntsville to north of Princeton. And you got an EF2 northeast of Whitewell to southeast of Dunlap. And you got an EF3 southwest of Rosalie to northwest of Raisling Farm, Georgia. And you got an EF2 southwest of Athens to east of Notata. And you got an EF3 southwest of Oakley to southwest of Benton. And that's about it. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified every single time we post another video. Peace.